You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Bold and Beautiful fans. We want to talk about Steffy Forrester. Specifically, what is next for Steffy Forrester, because she does not really have a front burner storyline of her own right now. She is in this kind of ancillary role in other front burner storylines like the Thomas and Hope thing and the Taylor, Ridge and Brooke thing. But what we do know is that she has her own big plot simmering, but it's sitting on the back burner ready to get lit. So we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. But first, if you haven't, please reach down and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Bold and Beautiful spoilers, casting news, all the good stuff that you need to know. All right, so we are going to see plenty of Steffy. We're going to keep seeing lots of her every day, but not in a storyline that is focused on Steffy Forrester herself. Now, we've been seeing her at home canoodling with Finn, and basically she's updating him on these ancillary storylines that she's involved with her brother and with her ex-stepsister crushing on her brother and with her mom being devastated. So we're seeing Steffy constantly in conversations, but they're about big events in other people's lives rather than big events in her own life. Right now, Steffy is busy overtime trying to keep an eye on Lusty Hope Logan, who is clearly crushing on Thomas Forrester. And she's also got to deal with this renewed Brooke and Taylor drama and angst. And then next week, we are going to see Steffy Forrester leaving LA as one of 7 characters that are going to be in Italy. There's Steffy Forrester, there's Carter Walton, there's Hope Logan, there's Thomas Forrester, there's Brooke Logan, there's Ridge Forrester, and the 7th one, the mystery one, that it's not clear why the heck he's there, is Liam Spencer. All right, she's had scenes with Liam too, but again, those were ancillary where she was telling him about Hope, and it's definitely that she's an important thread in these front burner storylines. I'm not saying that. Steffy is definitely the glue holding a lot of these scenes together, but it's also a little frustrating that she doesn't have a plot that's her own, because Steffy Forrester is a fan favorite. Jacqui Wood is an enormous favorite with the fans. So the question is, when are we going to get something that's about her? The other thing happening is that Jacqui Wood Rispoli is pregnant and expecting baby number 4. Now, she has not released her due date yet as of the time that we're recording this, but based on some recent pictures on her Instagram, there's one from about 6 weeks ago, and her bump was pretty good sized. She looked to be, I would guess, 6+ months pregnant. If you haven't had a baby, I'll just explain it to you. With baby 1, you usually don't show quickly or as much, but with baby 2+, once you're pregnant, once you're a couple of months along, 2-3 months along, you really start baby bumping bigger and faster. I don't know if it's because your uterus is already used to it, but first pregnancies, your tummy stays flat a little longer. So because she's had other kids, and I'm looking at her bump and having, been a mom myself, I look and I say, okay, she is like 6-7 months along. So I expect her to be having this baby within the next couple of months. And so what I think that also means is that that Bold and the Beautiful might be keeping her and Finn's big front burner storyline on ice until after her maternity leave. Now, if you remember the last time she did maternity leave, and honestly, really every time she's done maternity leave, you almost didn't notice that she was gone, because there was phone call stuff and she filmed extra scenes. And then I do believe she kind of took a pretty modest maternity leave. She didn't take months off. She took weeks off, and she did a lot of extra filming. And so it wasn't really obvious that there was this gap for her. So I tend to think that they might do something like that again. And what's next for Steffy is something to do with Finn and his mother. That's what's coming. But right now, what's next for Jacqui Wood at home is baby number 4. She and her husband, Elon Rispoli, already have 4-year-old Rise, 2-year-old Lennox, and 1-year-old Brando. He just turned 1. And there's no word yet if this baby is another boy, but given their track record, obviously she'd be thrilled either way. She's one of those like amazing super moms. She does pregnancy so stinking gracefully. I don't even know anyone that looks better pregnant than Jacqui Wood. So she's clearly going to be, nesting and getting ready for baby number 4 that should be coming within the next couple of months. And that's probably had them rearranging things at Bold and the Beautiful. And one of the things I do think they've rearranged is her big next front burner storyline, because they rotate around. With it being a 30-minute show, that means there's 15 to 17 minutes of actual showtime every day. So it's drastically different in how many storylines they can accommodate on there versus the other CBS soap Y&R, which is a 60-minute show, which carries 40 minutes of actual footage. So they've got more than double the showtime that Bold does. And so Bold has to they have to drop things off and they have to pull things forward, and they generally only have room for a couple of storylines at the time. And like you see right now, it's Hope and Thomas and it's Ridge, Brooke, and Taylor. We were supposed to get Bill Spencer trying to fight for Katie. There was even a whole promo, and then that didn't manifest. They will tease us about things and then they don't manifest because I think they figure out they just literally don't have the time to do it. So before we talk about the next big front burner plot for Steffy Forrester, I want you to reach down and click that subscribe button if you haven't already, so that you don't miss any of our Bold and the Beautiful updates. All right, so what is next for Steffy? Well, the obvious thing is they need closure on Sheila Carter. This is not a situation where, I don't think, where Sheila Carter is in jail and then we're going to hear something, oh, she was convicted and she's going to prison. No, I also don't think they're actually going to do a trial. I personally think that Sheila Carter is going to find a way to get out of prison. We've already had a whole promo about this. This is another one of those promos that they put out there and then they kind of drop, where Sheila was saying that she's not going to be in there for very long. And everybody's like, oh, Sheila's going to break out. And then nothing, no more Sheila for weeks. And that's because they just don't have room on the front burner. They have exactly 2 front burners. Picture a 4-burner stove, 2 on the front, 2 on the back burner, and then everything else is stuck in the refrigerator, turning stinky and old. There's a food metaphor for you about Bold and Beautiful. So what is next for Steffy? I believe that Sheila Carter is going to break out of jail and she's going to come for them. There's no telling. She could shoot them again because she's a maniac. She could steal baby Hayes and run off with him. She can go after revenge on Bill and Ridge, but I definitely think Steffy and Finn are going to be at the forefront of the Sheila Carter escape story, and I expect that to come once Jackie has had her baby and she is back shooting full-time as Steffy Forrester. So what do you think? Let us know. Are you excited to see Jackie pregnant with baby number 4? Are you worried about her not having a front burner storyline right now? I'm enjoying seeing her in all these other stories, and so I'm glad they are keeping her busy like that, because not every actor gets to stay busy when their storyline isn't front burner as hers is now. So it's exciting that they are still using her, and I can't wait to see what's next for Steffy Forrester.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.